Welcome back to Let's Talk Business, brought to you by RealtyNXT. This is Pratanjali Rahul. Today we will talk about journey of Investors Clinic Infratech Private Limited. Started in 2006, it has come a very long way since then. Today's episode is about how they have evolved over the years and how they are fighting COVID-19 challenges. I would like to welcome Mr. Ankush Ahuja, International Business Head, Investors Clinic. Thank you, Ankush, for joining us. How are you doing today?
We're better. We were still surviving. I think that's the most important thing in the current environment, I would say.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
thank you.
So because of COVID-19, we all are facing challenges. So as a brand, Investors Clinic, what are the challenges you are facing because of the situation? Please tell us about that.
Yeah, I think first of all, this is a unheard of a situation, which nobody thought of across the world.
Yes.
But as you see the legacy for Investors Clinic and due credit goes to the promoter and the entire core team. I think it's a brand which has been surviving for the last 14 years. It's actually seen the up and down. You've seen all the bell curves in terms of markets, demonetization, etc., etc. So a lot of things we've already seen as a brand. A couple of good things, what we've really done as a brand, I think adoption of the market is, I think we've done it very well. As a brand, I think we've gone beyond lines and have started thinking more innovatively. And so we've understood that the markets would not remain the same for sure. You have to think out of the box as an organization. One couple of new things, new initiatives have taken within the organization for sure. The day lockdown started, I think I personally feel the core team and the promoter, who himself is a son on earth for sure. He's been a veteran in terms of real estate distribution for a while. Yes. We started thinking more faster. People were laid back. People were just thinking what has happened. We were thinking, what can we do? That's very important. One, we adopted technology. Very importantly, the world has started being on Zoom and now Geo Meet for sure. Yes. So moving forward, I think we started being more on the training side, technology side, learning side, because I'm sure you believe the fact that moving forward, real estate will be a synonym of trust, knowledge, very importantly. So you will see over a period of time, an advisor is expected to give a lot of information. So we started being on the technology side, one. Secondly, we started a couple of new initiatives, right? So organic growth might be a little tough for any organization. We started thinking out of the box, and inorganic was the way forward. So we started a new model, which is called IC Plus as an organization. Okay. There we actually partnering with existing setups, giving them, we actually getting into a model of associating with them. Secondly, so and a couple of more things. I think very innovative thing which we've really launched at the moment is something which every buyer, right, who's stuck in an investment will also want to exit. So I think the promoter actually had gone back to some of the developers whom we are working with and has actually designed a strategy where anybody who's stuck in an investment has a rescue route. So that is something very, very new which we've actually launched, and that's been very successful. So believe it or not, at this point in time, property buying is a secondary kind of a decision or an option for any client. But exit routes, right partnerships, that's what we're adopting as a company. That's been very innovative for us, actually.
So that's the great initiative which we have started. As you were talking about technology, would you like to share some examples with us, like how you have adapted technology in this situation to deal with the challenges?
So, yeah. So I think we are, as a company, we have a vision to digitalize broadly everything. Though complete digitalization in real estate might be a little tough because it's a decision with the customers actually takes while looking at the property, doing a site visit. But internally, we've gone very strong in terms of training our teams, imparting knowledge, getting the entire organization on a tracking mode, which is digitalized for sure. So in the ancestral times, the old times, there were leads people used to call, but tracking was low. As an organization, we have a very clear view that we want to actually make it automated. Artificial intelligence is the next big thing for sure in real estate, for sure. So we on the internal side, on our organizational front, we've gone very robust in terms of creating processes. One, in terms of going live in the market also, we started using more tools which are more to the customer from his mobile or a laptop, and actually he can visually see. Now you can go more live. Earlier, if you see all these 10 years, they were walkthroughs, they were e-brochures, but never nobody used to work around it or use it more often.
Not
But
very
now, as
popular.
a company, we emphasize not popular. Yeah, not popular. And obviously, we are taking initiatives that the customer can actually go ahead and see virtual tours, can actually go behind walkthroughs, have Zoom meetings, have Zoom comfort. And in fact, on our payment plans and products from the developers, we've been very competitive in terms of giving the best kind of knowledge and schemes to the customer. So over and overall, yes, as a technology bit, we're trying to adopt it big time. Yes, our presence online will increase in the year 2020 for sure, and way forward. So we will be more seen, heard on the digital medium. We might also be using the ATL and BTL mediums as such, but little less. The ratios will be lopsided towards digital for sure.
Absolutely rightly said. Earlier, people like technology was there, these visual tours were there,
Hmm.
but people used to go to the place and buy before buying a home. They used to make
Absolutely.
sure that they want to have a look because it's a huge investment. But now, we have to maintain social distancing norms. So today's customer will accept the technology. So
True.
going forward, do you think that the intimacy of physical meetings with customers can ever be replaced by virtual interactions?
Um, in my opinion, uh, no, it cannot be replaced. One. Completely, right? But the ratios will double up for sure. If you see the kind of I would say levels of going on the site visit, multiple site visits, one customer who's got a budget of a crore odd is going to 10 sites, making a decision, making an informed decision. Now the levels of going to the site will be lowered for sure. Correct.
Right.
One, because there'll be so much information where the customer can be informed, can be known about that, and then take a decision of going to two sites. Correct. Or going to two propositions. So the number will double up for sure. That's my opinion. But if you ask me, it will be replaced. I don't think so. It will be replaced for sure, unless and until it's a pre-lease asset where you know where the building is, you've been to the building, or any kind of preposition which is seen, and then you take a decision. But replacement is very difficult for sure, in my opinion.
Definitely. So, what do you think is the future of virtual interactions once the issue of COVID-19 settles down?
I would say let's understand first the industries. I mean, if you see an IT industry long for last 20 years, and you see a real estate industry, the quality of people. No offense, I'm a part of that industry for the last 2 decades. But the quality of people, right, is far more better. Though real estate adds to a larger number in terms of revenues, right, to the economy and GDPs of the world. I would say the quality of people has to be very, very, very different now. All right. So, what will change? Definitely, the quality of people has to change, right? And in the near future, you will see a lot of change in terms of a relationship manager talking about walkthroughs, Google Maps, virtual tours, using the technology, meeting the client quickly, meeting 10 clients in a day through a Zoom or to a Geo Meet. So a lot of things will change. People will use these tools, and I would say that's the future. Even large brands like Magic Bricks and other players are actually going behind artificial intelligence, and they will develop tools which are important for the end user. And I think the way forward is all about technology. As I always used to say, since last 10 years, I think the way forward is all technology. Brick and
Definitely.
mortar will be replaced by technology in a larger way.
And also,
Yeah.
the number of meetings you can conduct over Zoom in one day, and it
Hmm.
will prove far productive because we used to travel a lot for the meetings. And I think with the help of
Yeah.
Zoom meetings, we can save a lot of companies' expense, and those resources can be diverted
Definitely.
towards development of some other plans and what other vision of the company. So, what do you think going forward? Brokers and channel partners would definitely require new skill set post COVID-19. Okay, so what would be the skills that they would need to come up
As I mentioned in your earlier question,
with?
that A advisor cannot be a, sorry to use that word, cannot be a straightaway courier jacket guy who can come and show a brochure, pick up a check and go,
Right.
right? So moving forward, I think every advisor needs to be an expert of a particular micro market or a territory for sure, because the customer will start asking more comparative, what's better, what's advisory. So I think I worked in the past with a lot of wealth management outfits. So I've seen that they don't sell a single product.
Right.
So that enhancement for advisor is very important. Coming back to how to acquire, there are multiple courses online. You can go to crash courses. There are large organizations. In fact, our organization has started the model of IC Plus. We are training people. We are getting into an aggregation model, acquiring more people. But acquisition mainly means to train them, to give them information, and actually to make them more equipped, right? So I, I personally advise every I would say advisor, broker, wealth manager in the country to go behind knowledge, because moving forward, I think that the era for pre-launch, soft launch, and other these kind of quick sales tools have gone. Today is the time when the customer is informed, and every manufacturer, right? So every developer in the country or a financial outfit will take so much measures to actually go behind knowledge, giving knowledge to the customer. So
Right.
if you are not in that line of being upbeat and going behind knowledge acquisition, it will be very difficult to survive for every advisor. More and more, I always advise all my channel partners to start thinking out of the box. If somebody is into real estate, I always advise all my channel partners to acquire more information for other products also. So, for example, we are doing primary real estate. We pretty much the leaders in the country for raising funds or selling units for primary developers. I always tell all my channel partners they should think out of the box. They should also talk about other product lines which are associated to real estate. In fact, as an organization, I think we are very bullish on fractional ownership. We started associating with a couple of players in the country, and we have very strong plans in 2020 and way forward about fractional ownership. But that's a way forward. This is the customer's product, right?
Right.
And nevertheless, I think we're coming up with solutions as an organization, as I mentioned, in terms of property take up, giving new avenues to the existing buyers, etc. So looking forward to every advisor to give a broader perspective in terms of advice, rather than talking about one product simplified of just primary. He has to talk about resale, he has to talk about other products, he has to give a complete advisory. For that, there's so many courses, there's so many crash courses, there's so many organizations who, and in fact, internet, what better? I think there are a lot of courses which are being conducted. One should get knowledge. And last but not the least, I think before I forget, I think presentation is very important.
Right.
As a salesman, you're not only selling a product, you're presenting a product, correct? So that, I mean, somebody can just pitch a product or actually can go behind present a product. So I would say every advisor should go behind quick courses in terms of presentations, soft skills. So that's very important. Yeah.
So going forward, what is the new shift expected in developers and channel partners relationship?
I think if you see the global economy, I think all developed countries like Australia, America, you see organized brokers. I mean, the
Right.
Remax of the world and Century 21 of the world. These people have built-in processes, right? And the developer is not selling himself, right? If you go to any large economy, primary sales is done through brokers only. And
Yes.
I have a very strong feeling, and I think in my career I've handled over 12,500 business partners under the Pyramid Capital brand BrickX. So I understand India is definitely a B2B oriented market for sure. A developer is supposed to develop a project, and
Yes.
a broker or an advisor is actually expected to recommend and advise and sell a product. So there are two responsibilities, right? A couple of developers have tried going direct marketing, and I think they've not succeeded. But organized players, I think we as a company thinking of a very bullish stand in terms of 2020 and way forward. So that's coming back to your question, it will deepen further, right? It will deepen further because one, the need is important. Uh, and realistically, the developers have come down to right pricing of a product. So it's a customer's market. So while they're coming onto a right pricing, and as an aggregator, we can talk about volumes and give them an exit in a particular time, because every developer is looking at an exit. So definitely the bonds will strengthen, and we started seeing that. We're getting many developers to come on board. I think we are ramping up our numbers in terms of manpower. So in the near future, the answer is yes, but organized players. The developers would not like to go in a scattered mode, going behind 2,000 brokers, etc. They would like to go behind an organized player who has processes, who has the ability to commit a number, and obviously exit the product and build it successfully for sure.
Do you think that commercial real estate has been impacted because of COVID-19 situation?
Yes, definitely. I will say commercial real estate has taken a halt for
Yeah.
sure. Again, that's a threat, right? So distancing, urbanization, getting the building on a lease, etc. Everything is on hold for sure. But in commercial real estate, I would certainly say moving forward, it's a better future in terms of your co-working for sure. In terms of certain assets which are pre-leased, that will take up I think unlock activities have anyway started, and I see August, September as when we have to normalize broadly. I hope so. But to your answer, it's taken a backseat a little for projects which were under construction. The sales velocity have not hit in on time. The constructions have been held. But delivered products, there is some movement for sure. Delivered products where there's a leased out, or there is a product which is on the verge of development, that is still in discussion. But yes, definitely it's taken a backseat to some extent in this COVID for sure.
Uh, how automation and standardization will play an important role going forward for the brokers?
I would say that's a question which I've always been advising a lot of developers, that standardization, one, in terms of development, is very important. That's on the developer end. But on the broker end, I think, as I mentioned, aggregators, large players will definitely look at an edge in terms of commercial, because they're putting manpower, they're putting technology, they're putting the brick and mortar, they're putting investments into selling a project for sure. Uh, but standardization, a marked difference between a broker who's selling a particular unit or who's an aggregator,
Okay.
needs to be substantially clear. And I think developers also are going by the same line. If you commit a volume, yes, they're welcoming you as a preferred partner. So we are as an organization. So, but in the long term, as I mentioned, aggregation, consolidation will start taking place in a big way. I think we are in hunt for that. We will be acquiring larger organization, setups of 100 people, more than 100 people as well are on the charts for us, where they want to partner with us, because we're scaling up, right? So we are going on to the next level, and we're dealing with the developer on behalf of larger setups, and a 1500 odd member team which we already have as an organization. So standardization for the local brokers, for the local realty brokers, definitely should be there. But difference between a broker and an aggregator, that's what I recommend from my end.
Thank you. So now I have one last question for you, and that would be,
Sure.
please tell us about your expansion plans.
Okay, on behalf of my promoters for sure, Mr. Hani Katyal and Sunny Katyal, they are in rush to expand as an organization. I'll tell you why. Because whenever there's a downturn, they see an opportunity, as I mentioned earlier also. So we're expanding. So currently we have about 1,500 people across 17 branches, which has 3 locations. So I look at the international business for Investors Clinic, and a couple of more strategic work I do for the organization. And we are ramping up people very consciously. We are going about inorganic growth, right? So we are more into acquisition phase, right? Rather than going behind 200 people, rather we would like to tie up with an organization which is wanting a particular support, a particular edge. We'll be happy to give that to them, and then scale up. So it's a strategy, one. In terms of international offices, we are right there in Dubai, we're there in Qatar, we're there in Singapore on a strategic tie-up. So definitely we will wanting to expand Abu Dhabi. once this lockdown open. Abu Dhabi is one, Oman is another edge for us in terms of an avenue. And then we're looking at some more avenues in terms of tie-ups and international presence for sure.
Okay.
To make it more fruitful and beneficial for the organization, I would say.
Okay. So, on Let's Talk Business, our main aim is to reach out to audience, to viewers, and we basically share the brand journeys. So before we sign off, would you like to share something with our viewers?
Okay. So it'll be quite detrimental if I say it's the best time to invest. I don't want to talk like a salesman for sure, or a sales lead. But I would say the properties available, the real estate which is available, every customer, right, in the country should take a conscious decision. One, obviously, securitization is very important. That whatever you're investing should be safe. Very importantly, should be with the right developer, right? A debt-free developer, a developer which no black marks in terms of delivery or products held, etc. So a right developer should be chosen. I think as an advisor, as an organization, we have all the right developers on the shelf for us. Right developer, right product, and I would say it's a great time from the perspective that the developers want to exit because the finances and monetary value is so high that the developer is actually wanting to complete the project. So it's a wishful situation that
Yes.
we always, as customers, we always used to aspire that ये project complete कर दे, ये developer project complete कर दे. अब वो करना चाहता है, right? So every money, every penny is actually going into the project. He wants to exit, right? If it delays the project, there is an interest value loss. I mean, he has to pay back to the NBFCs, etc. Plus, there is a penalization from the customer's end as well. So now the intent and the time, and I'll be very over positive by saying thanks to COVID that the products are available at the right pricing. So choose the right product with the right developer with the right payment plan and securitize yourself. And we are always there as an organization to support and advise, and we've been there for the last 14 years as an organization. Yeah. That's my
We have
advice to every viewer.
So we have been publishing press releases recently where couple of developers they were able to sell great number of flats which was not even expected during lockdown. I think that's one of the reasons, as you rightly said. So yeah, I mean during COVID people are considering investing, having a safe home,
Absolutely,
investing in
absolutely,
their houses. So yeah, that's very
absolutely.
important. So thank you very much for joining us, and it was
Pleasure,
a
pleasure.
lovely, insightful session. We will come back with many more inspiring brand journeys and stories. For more updates, follow Reality NXT. This is Mridanjali Rawal signing off.